What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tony's Picks Look Ahead show here with yours truly, Vegas Al here. Going to break down this January 8th action here for Thursday. We got a good slate, in my opinion. I'm actually looking forward to this slate here. We got, of course, that semifinal college football playoff game here between Miami and Ole Miss. And then a couple NBA games, four of them really. We'll get into those. A lot of college basketball, and I love the college basketball slate. Again, I liked this slate here on Wednesday as well. And then some hockey, a big hockey slate. I mean, what more can you ask for? Oh, wait, I got you guys a soccer play as well there in the English Premier League. Plenty of action. I put a ton of plays in today. I don't recommend betting as much as I did today every day. But when you like the slate, I say you fire, throwing more darts at the board here. That's the way I looked at it today. And honestly, I feel the same way here. For Thursday, I will have 13 plays in. I am waiting to put one more in, just dealing with some technical difficulties on the site. I will get that one in, though, a college basketball play. I'll let you know which one it is when we get to it here. But super excited here on the Look Ahead show to give you guys some action for tomorrow. Obviously, we'll cover all the injury updates, any line moves, try to get ahead of all of this action here only on the Tony's Picks Look Ahead show. Again, 9 p.m. on the West Coast, 12 midnight on the East Coast. Happy to give you guys my thoughts on these games. Like and subscribe here before we get into it. And again, link in the description here. Check out what we have on the site as well. Plenty of other cappers also doing their thing. Good to bounce back a little bit today. We do have a couple more games, really those 3 NBA games we're waiting on. The Trailblazers there plus the 6 or 5.5. And then what else? There's 2 more NBA. The Spurs as well. I laid it with the Spurs. I got -6 there. 6.5 actually. And then also the Bucks game is not looking well. Again, they're top 2 or 3 teams shooting the 3 this year. Milwaukee, I thought they could go into Golden State and do a little bit better than what they've shown. And we're also waiting on some hockey to finish off. So, yeah, still plenty of action here. Let me show you guys real quick before we get into today's slate how things went. I have a let me refresh this 1 second. All right, we look here. A solid day. I'm not going to sit here and go too pound my chest here. We went, I believe, 8-5-1. We still have more plays going. Here, I'll show you. Push there with SMU. That's just how it's been sometimes. Ugly with Arizona State. But, yes, look at these. That's what you want to see. You want to see green. That's what you want to see. I'm happy with that. Building block kind of day. Again, a lot of action for tomorrow. But let's get into it here, guys. We'll start with the very first game. 1 second. We'll start with the very first game here. We got Miami and Ole Miss here. This one taking place in Glendale, Arizona for the semifinals here. Winner will get a trip to the national championship game. When you look here, let me give you some of the numbers that I was looking at. Really impressed with the way this Miami team's played as of late. Miami, though, I'm seeing the 3.5 total around 50, 52.5. Probably won't be touching the total, even though I'm leaning under. I just think Miami's defense is elite. When you look, Ole Miss 65th best in the nation when it comes to sacking the quarterback. You look at what Miami does. They're a top 3 team in the nation sacking the quarterback. Obviously, Ruben Bain gets all the hype, top 10 type talent for this NFL draft. But Akeem Mesidor here is actually the one leading the team in sacks, 10.5 this year. They got defensive backs with 4.5, 5 sacks on the year. Keontae Scott, Jacoby Thomas here coming off the edge. Nice little random safety and corner blitz packages this Miami Hurricanes program will run. Obviously, an elite front 7 as well. I like what Carson Beck has done this year as well. One of the more experienced quarterbacks in all of college football. You're looking at a top 20 third down conversion rate for this Miami Hurricane squad, a top 5 scoring defense, only allowing just under 14 points per game. You look, Ole Miss top 40 in the nation, 23 points per game allowed. Miami 6 ranked wins, Ole Miss 4 ranked wins. You got one of them there against Tulane, another one against LSU, and then the most recent college football playoff games. Again, yeah, I know they played the SEC, but it wasn't the greatest of schedule. I mean, they struggled with an Arkansas this year. Again, LSU, they play. Washington State game comes to mind, how they almost gave that one up. Ole Miss is 77th against the run. I just think Miami's the better team, flat out, and it'll be interesting here. See who they wind up playing in the national championship. But we'll get into that Indiana-Oregon game tomorrow. But for this one, I think it's Miami. You got to lay to 3.5. Obviously, you wanted to get on it earlier in the week. It was at -2.5. But either way, I'm looking all about the U here in this one. The Hurricanes get it done. Cristobal finally gets himself in the national championship game as a head coach. There you guys have it. Again, like and subscribe here. Just gave you guys that college football action for tomorrow. Super excited for that one. I will definitely be glued to the TV watching that one. We got Pacers and Hornets here, though, in the NBA. Break this one down here. Before I give anything information-wise, let's go to the injury report here for the Pacers and the Hornets here. First off, Hornets playing some pretty good ball as of late. I know they dropped it tonight against the Raptors. We were on the Raptors. Again, you're looking at a 3-game and 4-night spot for the Hornets. Could they bounce back here fresh off the loss? Maybe, but I'm looking at the Pacers. But injury report-wise, Isaiah Jackson, Benedict Mathurin, top and still on the injury report. But still a couple guys here, Plumlee, Kalkbrenner, Grant Williams still, and then a Brandon Miller. The bigger one is Brandon Miller not being able to play as well. So you're looking at 4 to 5 pieces on each team missing. It's been dreadful here for the Pacers. I mean, you're talking 13 straight losses, 1-16 on the road this season. But you look back earlier this year, head-to-head, Pacers actually won a 127-118 matchup here in the beginning of the year. I think this team's still plenty enough talent. Obviously, Siakam leading this team in scoring and whatnot. But, Jay Huff has stepped up. This kid, Micah Potter, has stepped up 16-10 the other night against the Cavs. Johnny Furphy, Jarace Walker, Isaiah Jackson is now on the injury report. But they still have the other Jackson here for the Pacers, Neesmith and Nembhard. Go on and on. This isn't as bad of a team as their record has shown. Are they probably in tank mode throughout the rest of the season? More than likely. But when you've gotten to lose 13 games in a row, eventually you want to get one, right? And you look 3-6, 3-6-1 in the last 10 meetings versus Charlotte, ATS-wise. But you look the average line that they've been having to lay, -8.5. The Pacers have had to lay versus the Charlotte. Obviously, a better Pacers team in the past. Now you're catching 3.5 points. I think this is a buy low price here with the Pacers. I know it's +3.5, but again, 3 games and 4-night spot for the Hornets. Give me the Pacers here. You could go money line. You can go to +3.5, but either way, I think the Pacers is the side you want to back here in this first game of the NBA slate here. All right, on to the second game. Like and subscribe here in this one. We got Cavaliers and Timberwolves. I'm seeing here. Let me give you guys line and injury report. 1 second. We'll get to the injury report first. Injury report-wise here for the Timberwolves, I'm seeing really just Terrence Shannon still on the injury report with the foot, but a host of players more than likely resting here. You got Strus, Nance, Tyson, Dean Wade, even Livingston here more than likely will be out tomorrow for the Cavs. The big two bigs there for the Cavs are expected to go. That's a big thing here. These two teams, really when they play each other, it's a nice little front court matchup between a Gobert, Naz Reid, Julius Randle, and then obviously Mobley and Jared Allen. But the spread here in this one, give me 1 second. I'll get right to it. All right. Gotta love how long things are taking. Okay, So spread here, yeah, 2.5 points now the Timberwolves are laying. Total 240.5. I kind of actually am starting to like the number. I was seeing a 3.5, 4 with the Timberwolves. I guess seeing the news of those two bigs for the Cavs playing has the public a little bit leaning towards the Cavs. Um, but look, the Cavs are 4-10 ATS wise in their last 14 games. Laying a -4.5 per average line on that is a -4.5 in that 4-10 ATS stretch. Here they're getting some points at least. They're on a 4-1 run as well, but 2-3 against the number. You look at the T-Wolves, 4-1 last 5 games ATS wise, also an average line of 4.5 laying. And then the thing is, when both these two teams meet up again, yes, valuable bigs up front, great bigs really, as far as today's day and age. But what do you call it? 6 out of the last 8 games between these two teams have gone over the total. When you look at total at almost 240, opened at 238.5. I just think these bigs are too valuable to try to risk getting in foul trouble. A lot of easy access to the lane until late in this game. Fourth quarter, I think the bigs will not be scared to really protect the rim and use those fouls. But the first 3 quarters, really too valuable to try to lose one of your bigs here. And now you have a big-time mismatch. I don't know, the props on all of those bigs, even a Naz Reid, Julius Randle come to mind. Gobert with the rebound. I mean, this could be a prop galore type game. I do like the over in this game. And with this number dropping, I can make a case for these Timberwolves here. But either way, that'll be what I'm on. Timberwolves over, and then some props here, especially with those bigs here in this one. All right, we got the Heat and the Bulls here in this one. Bulls are just they just pissed me off. Plus 10.5. I actually don't think I put that one on the side. I bet that one personally. But I'll claim a loss. I'm never going to sugarcoat it. I was on the Bulls. They don't cover again. Got blown out by the Celtics the other night as well, or didn't cover. And they're catching double digits all the time here. When you look at the spread in this one, you're seeing a 6.5 now with the Heat. Bulls, or the total 241.5. Again, Bulls catches 6.5 points at home. Injury report advantage, in my opinion, is going to go to the Heat. I mean, all I'm seeing is just Jaime Jaquez here for the Heat. Just Jaquez, really. But then you look for the Bulls. You look at the Bulls, still Giddey, Zach Collins, Smith here, Kobe White, all on the injury report, not expected to play tomorrow. Could be why this spread is only getting higher. Just opened up at 5.5. It's up to 6.5. You could see 7 or 8 by the time this game starts. One interesting stat, though, in this matchup, the last 5 meetings between these two teams, the underdog has won outright on the money line. The biggest payout of that one being a +5. Bulls winning there a couple meetings ago back here. Last time out there, the Heat won as a 2-point dog, 143-107. Again, we do have a high total in this one, but with all the injury concerns here on the Bulls side, and again, not covering these numbers as of late, and they've been getting double digits. I don't know. I wouldn't be scared to lay it here with the Heat, and I think that underdog outright on the money line streak finally ends here, and I might as well lay it then at that point if you think the Heat are going to get it done. Yes, this number is rising. So if you like the Heat, you need to get on it now. But yeah, that's how I feel about that one. Okay, then final game here in this NBA slate. We got Jazz and the Mavericks. Jazz will be on a back-to-back here. Obviously, went tooth and nail down to the wire with this Thunder squad. Thunder have just been lackadaisical the last couple outings. Just you could say pacing themselves for the playoffs at this point. But you look, Jazz still 5 straight losses. I get it. They did play competitive tonight here against the Thunder, forced them to overtime. But look at the Mavs on the road here because, a lot of people may be thinking this is a rough travel back-to-back spot here for the Jazz, going to Oklahoma City, back to Salt Lake City overnight, and then having to play a game. But look at the Mavericks. They're 5-12 ATS-wise on the road this year. Now they're going to lay almost 8.5 points. This one's freemium because I've already put this one on the site. I took the Jazz at plus 4.5 or 5.5. This thing's up to 8.5. Again, I think it's people really expecting the Jazz to not perform here on the back-to-back spot, maybe even sit a couple guys. Let me read the injury report here in this one. When you see for the Mavericks, it's a lot of players. Brandon Williams, P.J. Washington, really actually, because the other Lively, Irving, Exum has been out for a while. But Brandon Williams, P.J. Washington, main two pieces. And then still, from what I see as of right now, obviously things can change. Kevin Love and Yang are really the only two on the injury report for this Jazz squad. I think this Jazz team is still young enough to bounce back on this back-to-back spot. Had they got a win tonight, I would have said maybe this is a letdown spot. But I think they're on the cusp of breaking this losing streak. Again, this thing's only rising. I love being on a dog, and the number keeps getting away from me here. To get on it at 5.5. Oh, now it's 8.5. Cool. I'll take the 8.5 as well. So yes, give me the Jazz here. Maybe even a sneaky money line play. Again, Mavericks are 5-12 ATS wise on the road last 17. Or that's this year. Do you want to really back them? Laying almost 9 points, probably double digits by the time this one tips off. We'll see. But again, been going on a rant here about the Jazz. But yes, I like the Jazz there tomorrow night to get it done in Salt Lake City. All right. Move on here into this one. 1 second. We got the Maple Leafs here and Flyers. First hockey game of the slate here that we're breaking down. Again, like and subscribe. Zipping right on through this action. Solid day. I think we're going to go 2-1. I'm still waiting on some hockey to finalize. Let me see before I get into these games. Let me see if they're finalized. 1 second. Jesus. Yes, the Mammoth got it done for us. So, yes, we did go 2-1. The one loss is the Blues. Blackhawks finally decide to show up offensively. 7 goals tonight, 7-2. I mean, only 7 minutes left in the game as well. They might add a couple more if they wanted to. All right, we lost that one there. But, again, still a very solid night. Very solid night. Excuse me. But yes, a bounce back night. We needed it. But I'm looking to keep the ball rolling tomorrow. Let's get here into this one. First game we're going to break down here for tomorrow is the Maple Leafs and Flyers. I'm seeing Flyers the minus 130 favorite. Total at 5.5. We're seeing Wall and Vladar expected here in net. When you look at some of the numbers here, Toronto's 5-11 on the road this year. Maple Leafs at times can be a little fraudulent, and then look how they've played on the road. Fifth most goals allowed in hockey is this Toronto Maple Leafs squad. Yes, they trend to the over. They are a high-flying type team. Get up and down, try to score a lot of goals as well. They're not scared to get into a shootout, and they will pepper the nets. Maple Leafs, though, 12-1 last 13 games versus Philadelphia, have completely dominated the Flyers, even on the Flyers' home ice here. 6-1 last 7 road meetings in Philadelphia here are this Maple Leaf squad. Toronto won 5-2 in Philadelphia earlier this season. But as of late, the Toronto Maple Leafs have lost 5 straight road games. You look, Toronto, 8 out of the last 11 games versus the Eastern Conference have gone under uncharacteristically, right? And then Toronto, 4 out of the last 6 games on Thursday have gone under. Something about these Thursdays here. Philly, same thing. 5 out of the last 6 games on Thursday have gone under. Then you look, though, both of these two teams, last 10 meetings, however, 10 of the last 10 meetings head-to-head between these two teams, though, 8-2 to the over. So we're conflicted here on this total. I can make a case for both the over and under in this one. But what I like more is the Flyers to finally say is enough is enough of these Maple Leafs coming in here and knocking them around. I kind of buy into the price at minus 130. I see what the books are seeing. Just recent form on the road, not great for the Maple Leafs. You kind of throw out. You I can't speak. You have to throw out the history numbers in this one and really focus on the current form. And I think Flyers can get this one done. So that's where I would be on those Philadelphia Flyers here in this one. All right, we got Ducks and Hurricanes here in this one. When you look at this one here, 1 second, pulling it up, you got, the Hurricanes almost minus 210 now, minus 210 favorite. 6.5 is the total. We got Dostal and Anderson here expected in nets. I don't know. When you look, Panthers are 8-8 on the road. Oh, my bad. Wrong game here. Ducks, 7 straight losses, excuse me here. But 6 straight overs, so giving up plenty of goals. 9-13 on the road this year, this Anaheim Ducks squad. There was a little bit of a run we had with them when we were backing them and cashing, but it hasn't been that great as of late, clearly. Hurricanes 14-9 at home. You look at the last 10 meetings, 8-2 in Carolina here. Carolina, 7 out of the last 10 have gone over. To me, it would look Hurricanes. You got to probably buy it down, puck line it. Is this one I'm rushing the window of the bet because I feel like the Ducks are due? So that's just how I feel about this one. But yes, it would be Hurricanes and really a trend to the over. Again, 7 out of the last 10 for Carolina have gone over. So, and again, Ducks necessarily 6 straight overs, not playing the greatest of defense. So maybe over the total here in Hurricanes and Ducks. All right, we got Panthers and Canadiens there, a little slip up earlier. Now we get to finally talk about this Panthers and Canadiens game and what is kind of a tricky one too. Panthers are going to be priced minus 130 favorite here. You got the total at 6.5. Expected in goal here, Bobrovsky versus Montebalut. I don't know. To me, it's a tricky one, right? Montreal's 10-10 at home. Panthers 8-8 on the road. Both teams basically playing 50-50 in those two stats. Florida 30th in 30 shots per goal. Oh my gosh, here we go again. Florida's 30th here. Shots on goal, they're 7th best with 30. That's what I'm trying to say. Florida's, peppering the net. Again, 30 shots on goal per game puts them in the top 7 in all of hockey. Montreal, however, 27th in shots on goal. Just a little stat that gets me worried, but I'm still backing the Canadiens here. The reason why is Canadiens have won 3 straight games here versus the Panthers. 6 out of the last 9 meetings the Canadiens have won. And the under in this game, 6 out of the last 9 have gone under in these meetings as well. 4 straight wins as an underdog for the Canadiens on a 6-4 run in their last 10 on home ice, making Florida travel all the way north of the border here. I would lean the Canadiens actually here at the plus 115 price in a game that I probably am going to wind up punching in here. I like this sneaky little dog price that we're going to get with the Canadiens here in this one. All right, next game, going right on along through this hockey slate. We got Devils and Penguins. Boy, oh boy, we were on the Islanders there in that game. 9-0 drumming of these Devils. It was a rough showing. I actually gave out the under too, which was a little embarrassing. I wasn't expecting 9 goals out of the Islanders, guys. What can I say? But I think that's just a red flag right now, wanting to back the Devils. Devils are also 31st in the NHL in goals scored. You look at the Penguins' top 10 in goals scored. Recent history, though, does point to the Devils. 10-3 in the last 13 meetings versus the Penguins. 6-1 in the last 7 road games in Pittsburgh. But you got to look at current form. 10 of the last 12 games have gone under for the Devils, not scoring. We just saw them get blanked the other night. Could this be a bounce back spot? Maybe, but I think the Penguins are too hot right now. Again, 5 straight wins for this Pittsburgh Penguins squad. I think they make it 6 here against the Devils. On to the next one. We got the Sabres and the Rangers. This one, it's going to start becoming really easy. When you see Rangers, you're going to know what I'm already on already, and that's the under. Rangers 24-16 to the under this year. 30th in goals scored. They don't score, but they're going to be chippy at home here. They did win the meeting earlier this year versus the Sabres. They won 4-0. Again, that would have gone under the 5.5 total. Sabres are 4-11 in their last 15 matchups in New York. To me, 11-1 run these Sabres are on the last 12 games, playing some really good hockey. But 6 out of the last 8 have also gone under for Buffalo. And 12 out of the last 18 have gone under for New York. You look, both teams trend to the under. 28-15 actually are the Rangers this year to the under. And Sabres 21-17 to the under this year. I got no problem. I see a total at 6.5, 6 with this Sabres and Rangers game. Yes, I got no problem taking the under. Jonathan Quick as well has done some pretty nice things this year. A save percentage almost .92. Ellis here is supposed to be in net for the Sabres. Really not the number one option, but almost a 9.00 save percentage as well. I think this is a chippy game. Obviously, Sabres are playing really hot, but I don't think the Rangers are going to let them come in here and knock them around. Give me the under 6 in Sabres and Rangers. All right, going right along here. We got Canucks and Red Wings. Thatcher Demko here expected in net for the Canucks. Gibson here for the Red Wings. Red Wings here -170 now. Total at 6.5. When you look at the numbers here, Canucks 4 straight losses, 26th in the NHL in goals scored, also allowing the 3rd most goals per night in hockey. Red Wings, meanwhile, 14-9 at home. They won 4-0, December 8th this year versus the Canucks. Canucks are not playing well, too, as of late, 1-6 in their last 7 games. You look at the last 9 meetings versus Detroit, they're 2-7. Detroit has played well against the Western Conference as well this year, 6-2 in their last 8 games versus the West. Detroit also 11-5 last 16 games. This is one of those, everything points to the Red Wings. You got to be contrarian here at this point if you want to back the Canucks. I'm not going to overthink it here. I think it's Red Wings. You're probably going to have to buy it down, get it in regulation. But yes, either way, I would be on the Red Wings here in this one. All right, we got Flames and Bruins. When you look here, expected goalies in this one, we got Cooley and Swayman here. Bruins now -145, total at 5.5. I think this one could be a revenge spot here for the Bruins. They did drop the meeting there. It was almost a week ago now, 12-29. I remember that one. I gave out Bruins. They lost 2-1 in overtime in Calgary. I think back here in Boston, Boston 12-9 at home this year. Not the greatest of records, I get it, but still up a little bit. Flames 6-15 on the road this season. 27-16 are these Bruins to the puck line at home, or that's actually this season. And then you look at the Flames trending to the over, and the Bruins both trending to the over. I think this one could get a little loose, don't get me wrong, but I think the Bruins here get some revenge. I like the Bruins a little bit more than touching the total, even though, again, both teams do trend to the over. Last meeting, though, was a 2-1 overtime game. Just give me the Bruins here to get their revenge. It is, -145. You could go in regulation. You can go -1. Either way, I think the Bruins is decide to back here in this one. All right, we got Pateters. We got the Pateters taking on the Islanders. Let me give you guys some goalies in here. Obviously, we have a typo. Sorokin and Saros here. Obviously Sorokin's my boy. Has done some. I've cashed plenty of times on Sorokin. He did leave the other night with an injury, so keep an eye on that. See how he looks. Islanders 6 straight losses in Nashville. However, you look 10-11 are these Predators at home, and then 10-9 on the road for Islanders. Neither team really making easy here to pick. Islanders, obviously, like I said, the 9-0 victory against New Jersey last time out. Predators, though, versus this Metropolitan Division, it's been 4 out of 5 unders here the last 5 times against the Metropolitan Division. We know these New York teams are trend to the under, put it that way. And, Islanders 12-6 to the under on the road this year, 22nd in goals scored per game. Might not see a lot of offense in this one, contrary to what we just saw the Islanders do. Obviously, putting up 9 there. I'm going to keep repeating that because I was not expecting that. This one's hard for me to want to really give you guys a bet here, but it would be probably under in Islanders and Predators. Not one I'm necessarily rushing to the window. Again, just the Islanders' 6 straight losses in Nashville scares me. Predators here at plus 115. I can't get mad at anybody looking at trying to play that angle. But really like the under, maybe a little bit of a chippy game here I'm expecting. All right, we got Oilers and Jets. When I am looking here, I was seeing, yes, Ingram is still going to be in goal for the Oilers. Hellebuck still in goal expected here for the Jets. It has been absolutely brutal here. Luckily, we've been really on the other side when it comes to these Jets games. 10 straight losses for them, now at 15-26 on the year. I could argue this is enough spot. Don't get me wrong, Oilers did contribute to this 10-game losing streak, beating them there on 12-29 earlier this season, about a week and a half ago now. That was a 3-1 victory in the Oilers' favor. I think enough is enough. You look here, 1-5 in the last 6 home games versus the Oilers is this Jets squad. 10 straight losses. I'm going to say it again, enough is enough type spot. They finally get some good goalkeeping out of Hellebuck. Jets here, again, minus the 105 I'm seeing. Minus 105 Jets, total 6.5. I would be on the Jets here, minus the 105. A little nice get-right spot for the Winnipeg squad. All right, right along through to the Senators and Avalanche. Again, like and subscribe here. Link in the description. You'll check out all the picks I have there. Clicking on that link takes you right to my profile, shows you all of the write-ups I have as well. We'll get to that here near the end of the show. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. But before I keep talking any further, let's get into this Senators and Avalanche game. Expecting the Avalanche to be a big favorite here. I am looking for a line. This is the one I haven't seen yet. I'm expecting a minus 250 for Avalanche. Let me see. 1 second. I have to go to a different book. 1 second. Minus 260 I'm seeing here with the Avalanche. The puck line for the minus 1.5 is minus 105. Total 6.5. You're getting plus money on the over, plus 115 on the over 6.5. Read you some of the numbers I have here in this one. First off, Colorado just been a juggernaut. You guys know this already all year long. 17-2 at home this season. Senators playing 50-50 on the road, 10-10 this year on the road. Last year's meeting, this is the last time these two teams played, was last year. They played twice. Both of those went to Colorado, 5-1 and 5-4. Obviously, some over-type games. Senators are 1-9 in the last 10 meetings head-to-head versus this Avalanche squad. Could only look the Avalanche's way. Again, you're trying to be contrarian here, taking the Senators and trying to be cute. Forced to play. Again, I'd be on the Avalanche. You might have to go the minus 1.5 here. Again, 5-1, 5-4 last year. Maybe sprinkle a team total over on the Avalanche. Either way, I think Avalanche is the side you want to back here in this one. All right, we got Wild and Kraken. You got Wild here. I'm seeing the minus 145 favorites. Minus 155 favorite now, up to 5.5 on this total. Wallstedt and Daccord here expected in net. When you look at some of the numbers, Wild won 4-1. That's about a month ago now, 12-8-25. 4-1 win for the Wild. 12-10 on the road this year is not bad. Also playing well at home, this Wild squad. Really one of the better teams this year in hockey. Minnesota's been doing it great, been having great success goalkeeping-wise. Third best in the NHL defending the goal. Kraken, however, 25th in goals scored. Not like they're going to be able to score much anyways. This one I see as a possible shutout. Again, just the struggling offense from the Kraken side and then the good goalkeeping you're getting from the Wild side. 2 straight losses here, bounce back spot for this Wild squad. They lost there to the Kings like that twice. I think, the Kraken could catch the Wild looking ahead to the Islanders here on Saturday. This is the final game on the road for this Wild squad, a 6-game road trip on the West Coast. They did go 3-3 over this road trip. Putting Waldstedt in shows you not putting in their number one goalie here. He hasn't been bad though. 11-6 on the year, a 9.3 save, a 9.28 really, basically 9.3 save percentage. However, his last 3 appearances though, he's averaging 3.5 goals allowed per game, which it's almost 1.5 goals higher than his 2.3 goals allowed average this year. But you look, Wild are 7-3 head-to-head in the last 10 meetings versus the Kraken, including 6 straight road victories in Seattle. To me, everything points still to the Wild, even though, like I said, this could be a tricky final road game spot here for the Wild. But forced to play, I would be on those Minnesota Wild here in this one. All right, almost through here with this hockey slate, and then we'll get on into some college basketball. We got the Blue Jackets and the Golden Knights here. Line I'm seeing here in this one is the Golden Knights now up to minus 185, total 6.5. We got Greaves expected and Hart expected in goal. Not in love with either goalkeeper here in this one. Blue Jackets 9-12 on the road. VGK 8-12 at home. Neither team really wanting to back when you look at those two numbers. Blue Jackets 2 straight losses. Have lost 3 out of the last 5 even. Third most goals allowed in all of NHL are this Columbus Blue Jackets squad. Blue Jackets also 2-5 in their last 7 games versus Vegas. 4 out of the last 5 in Vegas have gone under, not scoring goals. But I'm not necessarily running to the window here to back the Golden Knights. 6-14 on the puck line here at home. Again, that's probably what you'll have to do. This being so juiced here, minus 185. But look at the Blue Jackets on the road, 15-7 to the puck line here on the road. Let me get you guys a puck line price here. Plus 165, minus 165 here on the plus 1.5 with the Blue Jackets if you wanted to back them. To me, that's a little juiced. But again, tough game, conflicted. I would still lean the Golden Knights even with the ugly home numbers here. They finally get themselves a victory, possibly even a puck line win. I know the puck line numbers are ugly. It's what I just said. But again, minus 1.5, plus 140 with the Golden Knights. Either way, I think it's VGK's one to win here in this one. All right, moving on into college basketball. The other night, Offered in college basketball, a lot better today. Again, I'll show you guys at the end of the show. We are still waiting on some games to finish. But here, go right into this one here. Hofstra and Townsend. You might be like, what are you doing trying to touch this game? But I found me a little edge here with Hofstra. First off, I've been backing them a little bit this year, and they've paid me off here. Impressive team. They beat Pitt outright. They beat Syracuse outright. They lost by 2 to Columbia. Columbia is no slouch out of the Ivy League. But you look, lost 3 of their 4 losses in the first 5 games of the year since they've been on a 9-1 run. Also have won, I believe, 6 games in a row now, Hofstra. A top 100 offense and a top 100 defense in the country. Just can't get anything going. Townsend here offensively, 270th in the nation offensively. I think Hofstra rolls here. And what I thought they would be 3.5-point favorites, you're actually getting 1.5 here with Hofstra. So all over it. Love Hofstra tomorrow versus Townsend. So a little mid-major game that I love there in college basketball. Again, like and subscribe, giving you guys my heart and soul here with these picks. It was ugly a couple of nights back, but look, the volume increased and the winning is back a little bit here tonight. We want to keep this ball rolling here for tomorrow. All right, next game, we got Northwestern, Michigan State. I would have had Michigan State around the minus 14.5. I am seeing 11.5, 12.5. So the number kind of makes sense here. When I look in this one, Michigan State 13-2 this season, 8-1 at home. When you look at Northwestern, they're in the bottom 275 in 3-point attempts and makes, really a 318th in the attempts, 275th in the field goal percentage from three. It's really just this Martinelli kid that's able to shoot it from three. They have been increasing the amount of threes they've been once they've entered Big Ten play. Don't get me wrong, but I still think Michigan can name their score in this one. Still the best player, probably on the court for sure here, is Jeremy Fears, the point guard. I've already mentioned him multiple times if you're a fan of this Look Ahead show. The 10-plus assist prop is always live with him. This one here, he might try to jack up some shots here. I like the really advantage he has over this Northwestern defense. To me, you look at the aspirations that this team has with the Final Four. I definitely think this is the type of game that they want to whoop up on Northwestern, especially just a couple games ago, losing to Nebraska. That was kind of a wake-up call, the type of loss that they needed to have a fire lit under them. I have no problem laying it with Michigan State here. Again, I'm seeing 12.5. I'm seeing 11.5. Do your line shopping in this one. Be the way I'd be all over Sparty in this one. All right. Next game here, we got Liberty and Louisiana Tech. And what's a tricky game here, in my opinion, you got a big-time pace and shooting percentage discrepancy in favor of Liberty. It's almost 100 rankings difference, if not more, in those two statistics. But La Tech is going to scrap at home, 8-0, undefeated on their home court this season. Also beat Liberty last year on their home court, 79-74. You look, Liberty's brought back 4 players out of their 9-man rotation from last year. Just 2 guys back really for this La Tech squad. But adding this DJ Deadly, AJ Bates, these 2 guards here, almost shooting 40% from 3. I get it. Team-wise, Liberty's shooting the 3 better, but I think these 2 big-time guards for La Tech can really carry the load for them. And then I love the size that they have in the front court. You know, this Melion Martinez, Sir Isaac Heron, Avery Thomas even add some depth on this front court. And then Caden Copper, one of the few returners on this La Tech squad, a junior guard forward combo type player, 10 points per game, 9 rebounds there almost. That was the last time out. He got the 9 boards. But I'm thinking to take Louisiana Tech here plus the points, and I think they slow down Liberty's pace, turn this one into a scrap, chippy type game, and the rebounding edge will go to La Tech at home here. Again, they did win last year's meeting at home. I could see them doing the same thing. And this is another one where, I had it at La Tech plus 2.5. I'm seeing 4.5, 5.5 here, all over Louisiana Tech here in this one. All right, we got Rutgers and Illinois. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting Illinois to lay 21.5 points, maybe an 11 or 14, somewhere in that range. I'm going to a prop here, an Andre Stojakovic, 20-plus points, maybe even gets his average of 15.5 points per game. Again, do your line shopping. The 20-plus points, you better get plus money on. If you want to just take his regular over-under and his points, it should be around 15 or 16.5. Again, 26 versus Bama, 23 versus Texas Tech, 17 versus Ohio State, 19 versus Nebraska. It's not like the kid shrinks in big-time games. Ivasic, Murkovic, big-time prospects here. And then obviously Ivasic has the brother as well on this team, Ben Humakuris as well, 6'8" up, positionalist type basketball this Illinois Illini squad has. And I didn't even mention their 2 leading scorers here, these 2 guards, Keaton Wagler, Kylan Boswell, both scoring 15 points per game. You're talking very, very deep team, this Illinois squad. One of the more talented 8-man rotations in the country. Again, top 16 team in the nation, 11-3. I get it. Rutgers made us look like a fool the other night when we were on Oregon. No, we get our get back here with the Fighting Illini. I'd be laying the minus 21. I get it. I was expecting a little bit lower of a number. And we saw Michigan the other night against Penn State lay the egg. You might want to tread lightly laying these big numbers. But, again, forced to play this one, I'd be on the Fighting Illini. No way I can get on Rutgers. Sorry. We got UC Riverside and CSU's Bakersfield. When I'm looking here, CSU Bakersfield opened up at 3.5 down to 2.5. 5-3 at home this year. UCR 3-7 on the road this year. 3 straight losses as well. You look the better defensive rated team here. CSU Bakersfield, a top 100 team in steals defensive rating wise. A sneaky big kid, hasn't gotten a ton of minutes, but he's only gotten an increase in minutes as of late as this Pierre Genesetti. Just the coolest hair probably in the nation. Go check out the picture on the website there. Check out the CSU Bakersfield roster. Big pimpin'. See, they've had some stuff going on in the offseason. That's all I got to say. But this team has done some things, man. I've actually cashed out a couple times on them. Again, I don't want to back UCR here. Just dreadful, if you ask me. We look here, UCR 88-45 blowout to Hawaii. Because, a lot of people may make a big deal about CSU Bakersfield not shooting enough threes. 360th in the nation in their three-point attempts, CSU Bakersfield. But, Hawaii blew out UC Riverside. Hawaii is not necessarily the greatest three-point shooting team either. Again, I'd be on CSU Bakersfield here, -2.5. I got no problem laying it. Big pimping with CSU Bakersfield, no doubt about it. We got Cal Poly. We got CSU Northridge here in this one. CSU Northridge been a little bit of a cash cow for me as well. Obviously, Larry Hughes, the second big-time player. It's a shame he had to sit on the bench really at St. Louis. And now he transfers to CSU Northridge, almost 20 points per game. Breakout senior season for him. Definitely making some waves here as far as NBA. Good for the kid because, it was looking rough for him there. And then he finds himself a new home and a team that's built around him. You love to see it here. And this, CSU Northridge squad, 7-0 at home this year, averaging almost 80 points per game. Both of these teams really, but Cal Poly's 362nd in the nation in turnovers. Just sloppy play really on both sides, don't get me wrong. But I think at home here, Cal Poly gets it done. I am seeing a 6.5. Total is way outrageous. I was expecting 157. Again, both teams are averaging 80-plus points a game, but this one's in the 70s. I don't know if Cal Poly can get there. I think CSU Northridge puts the clamps on them here at home and, again, limits their turnovers while making Cal Poly turn the ball over. Again, one of the worst teams in the nation, Cal Poly here, 302nd in the nation. 362nd in the nation in turnovers is Cal Poly. Again, 4 out of the last 5 Cal Poly's lost as well. I think everything points to CSU Northridge here. A little bit of a cash cow this team has been for me. Yes, I'll take the Larry Hughes the second prop. Give me 25 points out of him in this one. A big-time PTP, primetime player, baby, is this kid, Larry Hughes the second for CSU Northridge. All right, we got Seattle. We got Oregon State. This one here, you might want to look Oregon State's way, right? Getting some points at home. Not so fast. I think Seattle's for real. The non-conference record, 11-2 compared to a Oregon State 7-6. It's not because Oregon State played a tough non-con either. So I just think, yes, I get Seattle had maybe a couple cupcakes, but still I think actually the better WCC team here. Oregon State, bottom 300 offensive and defensively. My player to watch here on this Seattle squad, kid out of South Korea, I might butcher his name, Junseok Yao. 6'8" kid here averaging 13 points a game, 38% from 3. And then a little sneaky big here as well, Austin Moore, 7-footer here, transferred in from Grand Canyon. Guess where this kid's from? He's from Bedford, Oregon. You think he wants to put the clamps on this Oregon State Beavers school that probably didn't give him an offer coming out? I like Seattle here. Probably the better team this year in the WCC. So give me the -4.5 I'm seeing with Seattle here in this one. All right, almost done here with all of this slate here on Thursday. We got probably my favorite game, college basketball-wise. I don't know. There is a couple good ones here. But we got Oregon versus Ohio State. Oregon just stinks dropping that game to Rutgers like that. Just straight fraudulent. I can't stand Nate Biddle. He's 39 years old trying to play college basketball. Um, I don't know. I think Tilly matches up well with him as well. The big-time backcourt advantage here, I think, with Ohio State and Thornton and Mobley, two big-time scorers, NBA-ready scorers, in my opinion here. And then we're still having to keep an eye on this Jackson Shelstad, really the only big-time shot creator on this Oregon offense, second in the team in points scored per game. He had hand surgery on his right hand back in October, and it's, flared up again here. He's dealing with a right hand injury again here. He did have a cast while he was on the sideline last time out. Keep an eye on that. Shelstad plays, is even going to be 100%, maybe trying to tough it out. They may just rest him until he's 100% as well. Either way, I like Ohio State here, and I had them being a 4.5-point favorite. I get it. It's on the road. Oregon, though, 250th in the nation in turnovers. Ohio State in the top 80 in turnovers, protecting the basketball a lot more as well. That's big when you're playing on the road, hostile environment. You need experienced backcourt, and that's what Ohio State has all over the Buckeyes here. Again, I think they should be favored. You're catching almost 3 points with the Buckeyes. Jump all over it, please. Give me those Ohio State Buckeyes in this one. All right, final college basketball game of the night. This one I'll be short and sweet with. I'm going to go to the over 165 here, Santa Clara Gonzaga. You look, last year's meeting in Gonzaga was a 103-99 victory for Santa Clara. Do they have enough to pull the upset off here? Possibly. The total, I had it being at 175 because the other meeting last year was a 95-76 blowout win for Gonzaga. I don't know who's going to necessarily cover this spread. I'm not interested in it. I'm more interested in the fact that I know Santa Clara will try to keep up pace with Gonzaga despite the 194 pace compared to Gonzaga being in the top 40. It's the three ball, though. Santa Clara is in the top 50 in three-point makes and attempts. They'll jack up as many shots as possible to try to keep up with Gonzaga here. Obviously, Gonzaga any given night can go for 100. And we saw Santa Clara keep up with them last year. A lot of pieces back off of last year's Santa Clara team. Really both squads as well, Gonzaga as well. Give me the over 165. I think Santa Clara can make this one fun. I think Gonzaga probably does pull it out there at the end. Don't get me wrong, the better team. But should be a track meet in this one. Expect tons of threes to be shot in Santa Clara and Gonzaga. Give me the over 165 here in this one. And then for you soccer fans, we'll take Liverpool here. That's a freemium. I gave out that's already up on the site. Liverpool here at plus 450 on the money line. Got no problem with it. Also, a plus 135 on the double chance is where I'm looking at as well. Because, yes, 4 out of the last 5 meetings, Liverpool has either won or drawn. So, yes, in soccer, you got to worry about the draws. That's why the draws. That sounded wrong. But yes, you got to worry about ties in soccer. When you look, Liverpool's 4 wins, 0 losses, 4 draws in their last 8 matches, and 7 wins, 0 losses, 1 draw in Liverpool's Arsenal's last 8 matches. But Liverpool, they have something that they can hang their hat on. They're in the top 3 in all of the English Premier League in passes and crosses, protecting the ball, holding the ball long, time of possession wise. Again, this total is at 2.5. I can expect Liverpool to kind of play safe, not really try to force any heavy action and give Arsenal a quick turnaround score on the other end. Top 5 in goals here, both of these squads, though, this year. Not touching the total. I like Liverpool here. Again, you can go double chance at plus 135. You could take the plus 450 money line, but I'm going here with Liverpool and fading Arsenal here, who's number 1 in the English Premier League. It'd be a huge upset, but I think it's possible in this one. All right, let's get to some of the comments here, and then I'll show you guys what I got on the site. We got our usual guy up in here, Sonny. I'm never betting the Bulls or Wizards again. Yes, I was on both of those. Wizards I did put on the site. Bulls I managed to not. But I did bet both of those personally. Ugly. That's all I got to say about that. He wants to know what I think about Delaware Sam Houston. Did not even handicap that game. Might have something for you on the morning show. Just don't want to give you some bull jive here. Didn't look at that one. All right, we got Sonny here still. Last night about Husker basketball, fool's gold. I wouldn't say that. They are very good, but definitely not one of the 10 best. I can respect that take. Let's just be real here. I think once the nitty-gritty of this conference play comes, they'll get exposed. And if they don't, well, then maybe they're not fool's gold. Let's just put it that way. But when it comes to betting, you got to have some opinions here and not be scared to attack them. And if you're wrong, then you adjust. But I don't know. I don't think I'll be wrong here. He goes, I call them Nebraska Celtics because there's never more than one brother on the court. Like, oh, Jesus. Not a lot of brothers on the Northern Nebraska squad, that's for sure. I mean, come on, they're the Corn Huskers. A bunch of corn-fed white boys, man. Nothing wrong with that. But, yeah, there you have it, guys. That's all we have for you here on the Tony's Picks Look Ahead show. Let me show you guys how today went. Again, we are waiting on a couple games to finalize. 1 second here. 1 second. Yeah, we $330 today. I'm not happy, honestly, because we put in almost 17 games. Again, I don't recommend that volume every day, but we got ourselves in a 3-10 hole the other day. And so the only way to answer that, if you want to get it all back in the next week or so, is to start increasing the volume. You could go long game and, try to not put as many bets in and just light volume. But I'm a psycho and I want to get some of that back. Don't chase your losses. A few people were on the, Celtics tonight. Really, really square. Really, really square, considering I think the Celtics are just about a G League team. So that's, what do you mean the Celtics are a G League team? What do you mean they're one of the best in the East? Well, look what the Nuggets did to them tonight with the G League roster. I did think Murray and them played, but the Nuggets have been doing some things, man. They won the other night outright with that G League roster against the 76ers. We're the tides have turned in the NBA. The Kevin Durant's and the Devin Booker's even are, yesteryear's superstars, I'm starting to realize here. You want to find these young cats just fresh out of college, especially now with the NIL era. The younger the team, the better. I'm not going to say that's going to win you a championship, but when you're talking about regular season basketball betting, yes, I like taking these teams that have some G Leaguers on their squad. The Nets come to mind, those type of squads. But that's all I got to say. Solid night tonight. Hopefully it can continue tomorrow. We will have 13 plays in. The one play that I'm waiting to put in, we're waiting on the line here on the site, is Santa Clara Gonzaga. Love the over. Again, 165 feels really light to me. I could see this one getting in the 180s. Let me show you guys some of the plays I was on today, because I was on a total in this Bama game, Bama Vanderbilt. Let me find it. Yes, Bama Vanderbilt here. To me, this was an easy one here. Both of these teams playing at a fast pace. They were 90 points per game heading into this one. Both top 15 in the nation in three-point attempts. Shooting almost 37% from three. Last year's meeting, 103.87. To me, that was clear as day, over 177. This one got up into the 180s by the time this one tipped off. Loved that one. A lot of people trying to take the points with the Lakers. Sorry, Spurs are a lot healthier. Probably the better team. Lakers on a back-to-back. I get Spurs were on one as well, but yeah, no thank you. Fraudulent Bronny and fraudulent LeBron. Yeah, no way I bet on them consistently. And then we had the Utah Mammoth here. Again, this cat's an automatic fade here. This goalie, Merlanian, 8.6, 9.7 percentage, getting knocked around. But yeah, there you go. There you guys have it. I do try to have a little bit better detailed write-ups here. Let me show you this Murray State one, because enough size to bang on the boards. Evansville is one of the taller teams in the nation, but what dreadful. Look at the pace. I think 66 points per game, 340th in the nation. This is now 10 straight wins for Murray State. Well, a little bit closer than I thought. I thought this one would be like an 88-60 type blowout, but we'll take a -8 victory any way we can get it. Florida Atlantic was another one that was sneaky. I thought wrong team favored, and of course, Florida Atlantic wins outright, shooting almost twice the amount of threes per game while hitting at a higher percentage as well. All over FAU tonight. That was a nice winner. The one that was upsetting was the Blues in hockey here. The Bucks wound up not getting it done. They're top, 5 teams shooting threes, actually. That was a surprising stat when I looked at it. 0-6 on the road. I mean, versus the Warriors, riding on the wall there. And, of course, we lose by a half point. Gotta love it. Gots to love it. But there you guys have it. That's the show. Made it 1 hour through, giving you guys all the breakdown here for Thursday, January 8th, 2026 action. Best of luck to everybody tomorrow. Again, click the link in the description. Check out what we have on the site. Plenty of action I will have for you guys tomorrow. Let's make it a winning day. Best of luck to everybody. Peace.